What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Onset podcast, where we talk about what it's like to make it as a creator in today's age. And today we're joined with our very first guest. That's right, numero uno, coming out of Sydney, making his big break onto the big screen, and also diving straight into the music industry himself. We are joined today with Tarren Marr Harris. How are we going, Tarren?
I'm great, bro. That was a beautiful intro, by the way. I love that. I'm great. Hey, this last 3 months have just been honestly the best 3 months of my life. Hey, I'm just gonna get straight into it. I've made leaps and bounds creatively, mentally. I'm happier than ever. Happy to be here. So yeah, just thought I'd put that out there.
That's so good, man. So glad to hear it as well. So for the viewers at home that don't know, you're originally in Port Macquarie, and that's where you grew up all your life, and only sort of recently you've made that full-on transition to moving to Sydney. Have you found that whole transition period going?
Yeah, bro. Man, I remember I'll go back to like end of last year. I had the idea in my head for a while. And my friend Connor McGann, I live with Connor. He always planted that seed. He's like, come to Sydney, you know, like you'll love it, you know, like yeah, it's perfect for you. And I was like, oh, I don't know, like Sydney, you know, I've been in Port my whole life. I was so used to Port. So that was a really, really crazy idea. And then I think February, it started to creep up a bit more. And I was like, yeah, like I think I got a bit too comfortable in Port, you know? And I just decided, you know, like stuff it, you know, moved to Sydney. I was so nervous, didn't really know where I was going, but I just trusted the process, you know. I just trusted the whole process, and I'm glad I did, you know. So it's been the best time of my life, and I've just discovered myself more. I just understand myself better, you know. So it's been awesome, man. It's been awesome.
So Tarren, what when you know with the move and so on, like what was that big draw card though? What was the thing? You know, when was it? When was it when you made that move?
Yeah, so February, and then I moved at the start of May. So it was May 4th, and the draw card was like, I don't know, I'll be honest, I was pretty unhappy for a while. And I think I just woke up. I woke up one day, and it's one of those things that you just wake up and you're like, you know what, like I'm doing it, you know. I was just sick of being a bit, you know, I was in that middle ground between, you know, being comfortable here, but then having those bigger dreams.
Yeah.
I was in the weird, you know, that weird middle ground you're in. You're just like, oh, like what do I do, you know? So I just kind of took that little leap, you know. So yeah, good question, man. That was the draw card. I just woke up, and then I just kind of realized that I was like, just looked myself in the eye and just said, let's do it, you know. So yeah.
Especially as being like a creator, you see it all the time, is that it's that breakthrough moment that you just said there's that leading up and be like, oh, you know, I imagine so much more for my life, or I just want to go all after it. But it's that breakthrough period, like just what you've done. So then just go all in, disregard any type of like either feedback from anyone else, and just go
Doesn't matter.
go all in with it all. So it's so happy to see you doing it, man.
Yeah, bro. And used to, like, I remember like we've been connected throughout the years, and like I remember you had this, you come to me like, I'm moving to Newey, you know, I'm doing this podcast, I'm starting this business, and I was like, bro, I had no doubt you were gonna achieve that and do it, you know. So I was like, you know, run with that. And now, you know, it's just good to see that, you know, we're doing the same thing. You know, it's COVID, weird times, but you know, we got to stick together. So we're here now, you know, user in Newey, Sydney, creating. So it's great, you know. It's great, man.
A lot more content to be coming up as well, linking up. So
yeah,
that's awesome, man. It is. It's I think this series and this whole platform around doing podcasts via Zoom. You know, just and like, you know, we've got we're currently in lockdown, so it's not like we're going to be on the set anytime soon. So it is good to touch base with everyone, see how everyone's going, and it's camaraderie, and it's you know, touching base with other creatives, because that's what this is all about. So mate, it's really good to hear from you and hear what you're doing and what you're doing in the future. So yeah, mate, like tell us what's the plans?
What's the plan? Okay, so you know, I think with me, I get a bit ahead of myself, and I have a lot of ideas all come at once. So I'm trying to get better at just penciling in, and kind of, I want to get better at making a scheduling my goals and like kind of just planning it out. So initially, I'm gonna get this album done. I'm working on the album. It's called 001. I'm starting to tease it now, as Jordan's seen. Yeah, I had the idea 2 months ago to move here to pursue music more. So I've just been recording, and an album's come out of it. So the first step, get this album done. Hopefully it'll be out before the end of the year, 100%. And then when COVID goes away, this film, going to be acting in a dramatic short film called Calf on a Butcher's Block. A funny story about this, I met the guys through Star Now. Star Now is like an Australian audition movie platform. So I met them through there. And yeah, so we got an album and then a movie. So big things. Yeah.
Busy.
Yeah. Busy. Yeah, trying.
Oh mate, just for the viewers that haven't heard you with in your music career, what style of music is this? What are we talking about?
It's a mix of everything. Okay, honestly. So I call it like new wave punk trap. That's what I'll call it.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, so I'll give a few artists. So it's a mix of like Kanye, even a bit of Akon, Playboy Cardi. It's like a mix of so many artists because like I don't know. I just had I have a pretty wide music palette, and I think I'm a huge soul fan too, and I'm also a huge Kanye and trap fan. So it just kind of they all merge together. So yeah, I'll definitely send you those tracks through, and I'm curious to see your guys' opinion on that. Actually,
I'm excited. I've been tuning into all of your little teasers on Instagram as well, and I'm like, oh, it's sounding good. It's sounding good. I can't wait.
Yeah.
But it's exciting, mate.
Man, is that when you talk about those artists? Are they the artists that you've listened to and you haven't heard it, but in this podcast, I always talk about mentors and someone you look up to. Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, man. Yeah, like I like it's such a huge inspiration for a lot of people, but like Kanye West, people might think he's crazy, outlandish, but he's such a huge inspiration for me because he's so fearlessly creative. Like he just has an idea and he just runs with it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
He just runs with it, bro, and he's so confident in himself. And I also love his music too. So yeah, it's with my album, it's just a combination of all these different sounds that I've kind of just loved over the years. And yeah, he's been a huge inspiration for me. Yeah, Kanye for sure. So yeah. 100%.
Oh, awesome, man. Awesome.
Yeah.
It's is it does it run in the family, mate?
It doesn't not the musical artist thing, but the artist. Yeah, my mother. She's an Aboriginal artist. She's one of the most talented women I know. She's been an artist for I think probably like over 10 years now. Actually, she's taken it seriously in the past 6 years. So yeah, she's self-employed. She's killing it. So yeah, she's an amazing artist, and I've just taken a little different turn here. I'm doing the music route. So yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome. Do you feel like growing up and seeing your mum being like fully into like all like the creative industry to some extent like that, doing all the artwork, do you feel like that almost inspired you growing up to then take the same kind of leap in as well?
Yeah, man, for sure. Like as a kid, I always, I love drawing. I love drawing. I do for hours and hours on end. I love, even I was a huge, I was like obsessed with Lego, probably too much, compulsively obsessed with Lego. But yeah, I love Lego, man. And then I just saw mum painting. I think I saw her painting. She started to do canvases back at our old home, and I remember like when I first saw it, and yeah, wow. First of all, it was a bit of culture too. So I saw a part of my culture, and seeing it in person, mum actually put it to canvas was amazing. So I think that planted that seed when I saw mum painting. And then, I just found my way with music. And I think I just I love painting too, but I think I just latched on to music at one point when I was around like 18, 19. So not only recently like I've really latched on because I always thought about you know, painting and following mum's footsteps. But yeah, I think as I've gotten older, I just music's been my thing.
Yeah.
For sure.
And what and you know, with the move down to Sydney and it's a whirlwind. I know I did the same thing. I came from a small town in New Zealand and then came across and walked straight into Sydney and was like, whoa, hold up, here we go. So do you find how's it treating you? How do you feel Sydney is compared to, you know, small town Port Macquarie?
Yeah. Good question, man. Like, so where'd you come from? Where'd you be from in New Zealand?
I'm originally from New Plymouth in New Zealand, the North Island. It's about 100,000 people. And then, I moved to Sydney when I was 19 and just by myself. So, but it's an eye opener.
It's a real big eye opener. And at first, like, like Port's so lax. It's so chill. You know everybody. You know where and then moved to Sydney, but I'm sure you had the same thing. It's like, okay, there's a lot more people here. I don't know how to get anywhere. I'm relying on maps, and then it's just like it's always go go go. I think that's the thing we've seen. It's just go go go, and if you're not go go go, you know, you just fall behind. So I think I made it. Made a concerted effort to just to keep up, and then I think me trying to keep up so much, I'm working at my own pace now, and I like this fast pace. You know, I like this. It's good. You know, can't waste time. You know, it's just I like this pace. At first, it was really testing, but just had a little adjustment. You know, so yeah.
Oh, awesome.
That's good. Especially with that momentum thing, it's one of those things that, as you said, once you start to like adjust to that pace, especially with Sydney being so much like hustle and bustle, is that once you start to like adjust to that momentum, man, and then you start to implement that with your creativity, just like one thing after the other.
Yeah, on effect. It's awesome.
Yeah. Do you think that your music ability has led you into that same, you know, a lot you do see musicians move into the actor TV, you know, like hosts, even they're being a host of different shows and so on. Do you think that's a natural progression for a musician?
That's a great question, man. I think because when I ran with it, music, I'm gonna record. I'm gonna try and make something, right? I'm gonna make something. I didn't have a direction. I was gonna make whatever I feel, and then I think when I made my first song here, and I was like, wow, like I've got something here, and then I had that confidence. About me, and then after that, I just ran with it. Hey, that little light was that first song, and I was like, okay, I'm running with it. And then I thought, stuff it. I'm gonna see if I can act in a film. I'm gonna see if I can do modeling or whatever. It was just that little kick, you know, like, here you go, like you got something here, so let's try something else.
When you say confidence, you think confidence in front of a crowd or in front of a camera? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, a bit of everything. First, there was a confidence within myself first, and then with that, I just thought I could, you know, why not try this? Why not try acting? You know, if I can make a song, you know, I'm gonna try acting. So, that's kind of what it was. Hey, just a bit of everything, but mainly internally. And I'm sure you guys have that, you know, that confidence. If you don't have that confidence internally as a creative, you know, it's very hard to go forward with it with much. It's very, very hard, man. When I had that, I was fine. Yeah.
And it's one of those things that come with time as well. It's like after you just like tick off with like this project, or especially with like Steve and myself, when you start to land those like those bigger projects, like when we do like the festival, weddings and everything like that, once you start to accomplish that, and once you've done that project and everything like that, you're like, hey, it builds that confidence again to be like, hey, if I can do this, then maybe I can do something a bit bigger. Hey, if I can do this, maybe we can do podcasts. You know, it's like all these little things that you know, you grow that evolution of being a creator. So
and it's great, bro, because you don't realize like you don't even, it just kind of happens like, oh wow, like I've got this project now. Or we just did our first, you know, we've done a few weddings now, we've got so much content, you know, like, and you just run with it. Hey, it's a lot of it's planned, but then everything just organically falls into place. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
And it's
definitely. Definitely. It's one of those things where, like, you know, it'll just be one day. It'll be one day, like, you'll think, oh, it's so slow. Like, I'm not connecting with. Am I connecting with the right people, or am I doing something wrong? And then suddenly, it's just like everyone wants your time, or everyone, you know, wants to interact with you, or you're getting invited into this network group, and you want to talk with these people, and it does feel like you're like, what have I done differently? You don't know, like, you don't.
It's crazy. Someone pulling tricks on me, man. Like, you know, is this like a game? What is going on here? You know, but you just, yeah, like you just run with it. Hey, that's the best feeling, man. It's the best feeling. It's the best feeling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So mate, tell us. Look, I think Jordan probably want to ask this one around, you know, young creatives. What would you want to ask as a young bloke going, you know, becoming a creative or getting into that industry, you know, music or acting, TV, short film, all that kind of stuff. What is it that you found that was the right direction for you? Like, was it just luck, or do you think it's hard work, or do you think it's doing the right training, being around the right people? Is it a mixture of those? What's your take on all of that?
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Okay. I think
That's a big question.
that's a big question, but I love it. I think honestly for me, I always knew it was a confidence, and it was a trust in myself thing. But my whole life, like I always knew I had, you know, a little talent or a little like skill, but I didn't believe in myself enough. And I had my friend, like, you know, my mum and my dad, you know, just kept playing that idea, like, come on, you know, you could do this, you know, you're good at this, try that, you know, good at this, try that, you know. And Connor, he always knew I was like I had something with music, and he kept pushing me and pushing me and pushing me. Um, so yeah, I think it's for me it was outside influence, kind of reminding me of my worth, um, and that fed into everything else. So um, and then the time I've only like the whole heart, the putting in the hours. That's I've realized that now as I've ran with the idea, I've ran with music, the hard work bit kicks in, you know, because once you realize you got the skill, you got the resources. The hardest part is sticking with it when shit doesn't go right. You stick with it. Um, so yeah, I think yeah. At first, it was Connor, friends, my mother and my father, planting that seed. Then it was the idea. You know, it was sitting there. I was sitting in my room, and for hours I'd be like, okay, like, you know, when you have no idea. You have like a block. You have the mental blocks. I think pushing through those mental blocks, because like you said, you have no idea what's going to come out of it. So pushing through those mental blocks, and no idea is too crazy. Like, no idea is too ridiculous. So yeah, I think it was that too. Being comfortable with the mental blocks, putting in the hours, and just affirmations, you know, from my friend. You know, that those three things really helped me. Um, and yeah, now it's just that yeah, I'm at the stage of mapping out where I want to go next. That's where I'm at now, you know. So yeah, great question, man. I think that's my take. Yeah, that's what.
It's good.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I love it, especially what you were touching on then, especially with those like early stages of being like that creator as well. It's like there's really grueling hours, there's late nights, early mornings, and we've touched on heaps on the podcast so far. But it's one of those things that can either make or break you, you know, especially pushing through all those like hard times. And as you said, those mental blocks, it's so easy just to give up in those times.
So easy.
Oh, I'll just do something else, what I've always done, you know, just go back to that 9 to 5, because that's always going to be there. But when you get on the other side of that, you're like, as you said, when you either, you know, land that role on that movie or you make that song, it's that affirmation of, hey, it's worth it. You know, this actually pays off. Hey, you know, it's worth all those hours of in the booth, or, you know, trying to mess around with like sounds and that. So I would love that you touched on that, man. So
man. That's it's funny how the world works sometimes. Hey, you own the world in your mind. It's just funny how it works. And it's like, I think with the I'll send you guys this it was a TED talk I was watching. He speaks about like when you have an idea, like you don't settle for ideas. Like you have it, and then keep testing it, keep stretching the idea out. You know, for ideas you have for podcasts, or for new jobs you want to land, or like rebranding. Like just keep really testing the boundaries, because like, you know, first, like why not? Because, you know, you want to be generating new ideas. You know, you don't want to do, you know, something that millions of other people have done. So I think, yeah, like keep testing those boundaries of what you can come up with, and that's the hardest part. You know, like really trying to come up with something new, and you know, like testing for yourself. That's the hardest bit, but it's the most exciting bit too when you get through. You know. So.
Yeah, we actually, it's funny you bring that up. We only just touched on that on a previous episode around the different hats that creators wear. Like, you know,
that's the hat. Yes, that's the one. Yes.
So, and you're right, mate. It's about broadening your skill level. It's not just about sticking to one lane. It's about, you know, trying to go across those 5 lanes of that motorway and cover them all, and do everything you can. So I like that. It's a good attitude, mate. I really like that attitude. I think that's where everyone should be at. Just, you know, you can't. It's great to just really master a skill, but it's also good to, you know, dabble in other things and try and get a bit better at it. So yeah, I like that. Really like that.
Yeah, man. I haven't. It's, oh man, like it's I think I don't do it often, but if you take a conscious, you know, you take action, you really reflect on where you come from. And like I wouldn't have been saying I wouldn't have been saying any of this like 3 months ago. Like when I say like this last 3 months has been the craziest times. This mindset's only come recently. So it's pretty crazy to hear it's coming up, and I feel confident in saying that too, which is even more crazier. So yeah.
Oh, it's good, mate. It's really good. It's a good attitude to have, and especially in this current climate that the world's going through. It's really good to stay positive, because I think everyone's got to have that mindset to just get through.
Yeah, and we've got to stick together, you know, as creatives, like we said, you know.
That's right.
Yeah, for sure.
So we usually do a top tip. So you've given us heaps of tips at the moment, but we've touched on it beforehand. So to your, I guess you would say 3 months ago, sitting in port, umming and ahhing, let's just say, about either making that leap to Sydney, what would be the top tip that you would give yourself or to that young creator out there that is either umming and ahhing on either going all in with their goals and all in their dreams? What would be the one bit of advice you'd give them, Tarren?
One bit of advice. My one bit of advice is, this is what I've always just like honed in on. Get used to being uncomfortable. It sounds that you really got to get used to being uncomfortable. Not in like a just constantly test yourself and trust yourself, trust your inner voice, and be comfortable with being uncomfortable. So it was 2 tips, but yeah, like they tie in because when you trust yourself, you know, when you're uncomfortable, it's okay. You know, you're at peace because you know you're going to find a way out of it. So, you know, whether it's being uncomfortable, like I think you and I, Jordan, when I was training all the time, you were training, my goals are way different, you know, and like initially then like being uncomfortable was for me, because I was super unhealthy and overweight for myself, and being uncomfortable was cutting out everything, getting to a certain weight, even getting a training plan done up, you know, like that was so uncomfortable. I was like, oh, like I don't even know macros, I don't know this, that, you know. So it was like, that was my first step. So yeah, just trusting your inner voice and being comfortable with being uncomfortable, because that you'll go anywhere with that, you know. Because life isn't easy. So you know, it's like life is amazing, life is fun, you know. So, and there's a lot of uncomfortable times. So once you harness that, you're gonna be fine. So yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I think
I like that.
Because that's where a lot of growth happens as well, you know, being in that, pushing yourself in that uncomfortability, you know, that's where you grow as a person, as a creator.
Yeah.
You know, that's it.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Timo.
Love that.
Yeah, dope.
Good
That's
attitude.
That's me.
It is.
Yeah.
It's I think that's where it's and it can, and that's it doesn't matter what what you're doing either. That kind of that feeling of advancing your life or advancing your skill set is you're going to come across those times. Like we're only just starting with this podcast, and it's not exactly forefront of my mind, like when it comes to like my skill level in front of a camera. I'm normally behind the camera, and it's pretty good. It's good there. You stay there, but but it's good to share. Like, and this is what it's all about, is just sharing. And that's why I'm not too, it's an uncomfortable feeling for me, but at the moment I'm just trying to get out there and share my experience with everyone and talk to people and understand what their story is. And mate, you've shared your story so far, which is great, and it's exciting, man. We're really excited for you and where it takes you. So no, I'd like to say thanks, mate, for joining us on the Onset podcast. And I'll get Jordan to do the rap because he's good at that. So go ahead, Jordan.
Well, thanks again, Tarren Marr, being our first guest on the Onset podcast. It's exciting times. Can't wait to have you back next time. But for you guys that are just watching there, kicking back, make sure if you loved what we did, smash that like button down below. If you want to see more, just ring that little bell there so you get notified whenever we end up doing a post. And make sure you subscribe. If you've got any tips or tricks or your own tip of the day, just leave it down in the comment below. And if you've got any other topics you want us to talk about, just leave that one down there as well. So thanks again, Tarren Marr.
No worries. See you guys soon. I cannot wait to be back.
Perfect, man.
Awesome, man.